Says we're live. Are we live? Let's see. Says live. I think we're live. Hey everyone. What I want to do today is have a look at some more Sculpin projects, some development, and some more Tailwind CSS development. I was done speaking in Berkshire at PHP Reading meetup recently, speaking about Sculpin, and since just before that meetup, I set up a new personal Sculpin project, which is this website, which is Zettelkasten, which is a form of atomic note-taking. That's pretty much all I know about that. There's a lot of other people who can speak more about that. Essentially, it's a website with lots of very small atomic notes about little things. Each one's got a title and a date and a body and some tags and things. But this is all open source. It's hosted on this GitHub repository. It's a Sculpin website. But as you can see, there's not any styling at all. I wanted to do minimum viable approach. My main thing is just to get something up and running in sort of a heat of the moment, hyper-focused thing. Oh, that seems like a good idea. I'll spin that up and start moving across nodes for an hour and get something live. I'll come back and start it later on. So that's what I'd like to try and do now. I'd like to try Tailwind version 4 again. That seemed to go okay with the Drupal theme that I did recently. Although I did try it on my personal site and hit some issues yesterday with the new alpha, but that could just be the way that project is set up. So the Drupal theme I went fine. Hopefully this will go fine as well. Pretty much the same thing. So I've got maybe like an hour or so now, so to see how this could go and how have a bit more play with Tailwind CSS version 4 again. See some of the new things that have been added in since the last alpha. Watching Adam on his channel yesterday, upgrading some Tailwind UI elements, which I thought was pretty cool. So we'll have a go with this. Then I'll do some Drupal theme updates at some point, and then personal site updates as well. Let's see how this goes. Cool. Let's see. Anything in... We don't need to see the subscriptions page. Let's see. Yeah, still says we're good. Stream rate is low, but we'll hopefully that'll be okay. So I've got this project checked out locally, of course. It's in this tab. I've started using Zedge since the last time I did a stream. So just using that as a Tmux replacement. Long-time Tmux user. But I thought I'd give Zedge a try, and I quite like it so far. A bit more batteries included, with some cool little things in it as well. Going to need Tailwind CSS Alpha. Get this blog post up again. It's all pretty much the same, but it does have some copy-paste stuff in it that we're going to need to use. This project doesn't have any JavaScript or any node stuff in it at all, I don't think, so we'll have to start right from scratch. There's a couple of ways of doing it. Vite, I'm not using Vite in this project. I've got PostCSS, could use PostCSS, but I think we'll just use the CLI. That's how I've been doing it so far, previously. So I think that's the way we're going to do this as well. Let's see. So I should have this running locally. This is my local version. Localhost 8000. If you go back here, I've got the site on the left, and I've got sort of the watcher thing running on the right. So that will sit there and watch the site and reload any changes as we make them. Recompile the site. Yeah, there's no package JSON file. There's no package lock. There's no Tailwind CSS in this project at all right now. So we're going to be starting pretty much from scratch. Not completely from scratch. We do have a Nix flake. So the way I've started working recently is using more Nix based things rather than Docker-based things. Most of my Drupal projects are still Docker because they've got reliance on MySQL or a DB, and I haven't looked at migrating that across yet. But for things like this, I've mostly just been using Nix rather than Docker containers. It's just a nice way of installing little things like we need. Like this project needs PHP and Composer. It's Sculpin, so it's a PHP project. But we also need Node.js in here, and that's it's going to auto format. If I just leave him now, let's see. Escape drop to shell. Okay. Let's see. So because this is set up using Durenv as well, it's going to reload that environment again, and it's going to add Node into my path, which wouldn't have been there previously. So that's the first thing, installing Node. Okay, let's go back. I need to pop out the chat at some point, but for now we'll just roll with it. npm install. Okay. I've added in an alias. I think maybe I came across this on stream last time or part of a talk. Copying and pasting instructions that have the $sign at the beginning to signify the start of a line in the shell. That will usually break stuff because $sign isn't a command if you copy and paste it from everywhere. So I've got an alias now that I've re-added back in again, which is this line. So it makes $, and an empty thing, so it doesn't do anything. So that's quite cool. So I can copy paste stuff without worrying about things breaking. Okay, npm install is done. Let's see. What I could do is make a new pane here, and maybe make this one a bit bigger. So now I've done that, we have a node modules file, folder, directory even. We should have a package. Yes, we do. Package JSON, package lock. Cool. And there's the two packages. Tailwind CSS, Tailwind CSS. Awesome. Import. I wonder whether we need to do this part, because that was one of the things with Tailwind v3 is you didn't need an input file, essentially, but maybe we do for this one. So let's write app.css. Let's file exists. What? You sure? App.css. Oh, did I write it from CSS? I did. Dope. Okie dokie. Try that again. Copy. Paste. Import Tailwind CSS. So this is our input file, and I'd usually put it inside assets or somewhere, but for now I'm just going to put it here and come back to it later on. Hopefully I didn't override the things in our package data. No, that's fine. Okay, and then finally compile CSS using the CSS tool. Okay. I'm not going to have anything for it defined yet, but let's see. And again, usually I put this into like a run file or it's like a just file, usually a run file these days, and I'd have it there, so I'd have a command like a run npm build CSS. In fact, I've probably got run, let's see, make this one full. I've got a run file, which is just a bash script with functions in it. There's a function called run, the file is called run, and then a function called clean, a function called generate. In fact, I can show you what that looks like. We have a function called generate, which is going to generate the site, a function called help. So this is like a small, essentially like sort of make file type of thing. So I can shorten more complex commands or group commands together here, and I like it because it's just written in bash. I don't need to install anything additional for it to work. So usually I have a command like this, and so I'd say run npm run build, or something, npm build css or something to that effect, and I would use that. But for now I'm just going to paste it into this bottom pane, and we will do that to give it a bit more real estate. So it takes our input file and then makes this output file. So dis.css. dist. Okay, cool. So alpha 23. We've got some base styles. So Tailwind version 4 is mostly CSS variable based or customer property based, which I think is really cool. And in the new version, Adam was showing that they're adding backwards compatibility support for the config JavaScript file, but I think they really want people to move towards using custom variables, which I think is a good idea because I sometimes use them in other places, so it'd be nice to be able to use the same variables in multiple places. This page doesn't look any different yet because although we have generated a file, we haven't used it anywhere. Let's see, base.twig. Only thing for me being a Vim user and using Zellige is certain things overlap, like doing things like Control D or Control P for using the shortcuts. The Zellige will just go, hey, we'll try and do that thing for you, but I don't want it to do that. So now it's in a locked mode. So those key presses are going through to the thing. This is why I try to remember how to do this now. Link. You know what? I'm good. Rather than guessing, I'm just gonna cheat. Page source. Senior developer, lead developer, consultant. Doesn't know how to put in a style sheet. Rel. I get confused between rel and href and source and other things. Cool. Okay, so that goes there. That goes there. Dist app.css. So hopefully now it's going to have loaded the thing. This is rewatching on the right hand side. So that's a good sign. Don't need this or this anymore. And looks still the same. Let's see. Dist app.css. This file is not found. Okie dokie. I know why. It's output into the dist folder, which Sculpin doesn't know about. So usually I'll have it output into the source folder, which is where Sculpin is going to look for source files, essentially, and then it's going to move it when it does the compile step and makes these output dev, output prod folders. It's then going to move it into that because it's inside our source directory now. So hopefully now Sculpin knows about it. This one, we don't need, because that's just extra. Still says not found. There we go. Good. Nice. Hard refresh. Cool. Okay. There we go. Now we're looking good. This is good. Like Tailwind is working. It's applying. It's resetting a lot of stuff. This is good. Good stuff. Cool. Let's see. Any comments in the chat? No. Please use a keyframe frequency of 4 seconds or less. Interesting. I'm gonna keep reviewing the settings as I try and do more streaming going forward. But there we go. So yeah, everything's reset. So let's try and do let's see, unlock the thing, and then let's make this a little bit bigger. I suppose the other thing we can do is presumably we can also still pass watch here, and it's going to hopefully sit there and watch for changes instead of me having to rerun them every time. This is a really old mod. Well, you probably can't see it now, but it's very failure old web developer mug. Had this for just as long as I've been a developer, which is a bit scary. Okay, cool. This part is usually to commit, but for now I'm just going to go on, I think. this is watching, that's watching. This also is where like Z-edge layouts is really quite interesting. So you can have a layout with a pane on the left and then 2 panes on the right, so up and down. Do I have one in this project? I probably do. Dev. There it is. Yeah, this isn't meant to be about Z-edge, but so we've got a layout, and then we have a pane, which is the vertical pane. So it's starting off with a new room at the top, but it's 60% size pane, and then putting the run start command, which is what starts the project. Back in that run file again. And yeah, that's it for this one. And then at the bottom we've got the compact bar, which is this one at the bottom. I do have others which are a bit more complex if they're running things like automated tests or PHP stan or code sniffer or whatever. That's a nice simple one for this project. So let's give this a refresh. That's still fine. Okay, we can just assume at this point that those watches are running. If we have a problem, we can go back to them. Okay. So people maybe not as familiar with Sculpin, as I mentioned, there's a source directory with all of our source files in it. And this is where the twig files or the markdown files or the HTML files live, and then they get processed and then put into the output directory. Each one of these has a layout. This one has a layout of page, which means that inside layout there's a page.html.twig. Got a sync conflict for some reason. Page HTML.twig, and that's going to extend a base. So the non-sync conflicted base. This is the main. So HTML wrappers. This is where we added that start sheet link as well. So this is our main wrapper for each page. Note also extends base, but then overrides the body to add a little breadcrumb at the top. And by breadcrumb, I mean just the little link here that says home, and it's people, so we can get from. You can click one of these, see the note, read the thing about what the note is about, and then click home and come back. Really simple little sculpting type. And then overriding the content wrapper as well that puts the date of the post at the top, and then this is what's generating the links. So if we go back to this is what's generating links. Tags is what's generating there, and then also some that do have links as well. This one doesn't. Which one has links? Data attributes. Nope. It's difficult to see because all the stuff is reset. Some of them definitely have links. There we go. Okay, cool. Yeah, this section here. So we've got tags, which is a list of the tags, and then links are the list of links. So if we open up the one about, this is the very first one I did actually, but Drupal pager and this particular accessibility issue. So I made a note about that. Let's find it. Also got a kernel file which has the notes content type on it, which is one reason why I quite like Sculpin, is you can have different content types. Makes me feel at home being a Drupal developer. So that means inside source we have an underscore notes directory, so the content type name being notes, and the directory is called underscore note. Each note then is just its own markdown file. So I just have numbered. One is going to be the earliest one, with the title and then the date and then the tags that we saw. Interesting, this one doesn't have links. Where are those links? Oh, they're here. Okay, I thought we were looping over them. Links. Am I not using that then anyway? Let's see. No, this one has links. This is what I thought was on this one. Links. Post requests with curl. Post requests with curl. There we go. I'm going to move my webcam at some point. So I'm looking here and then looking to see the webcam, and then I'm looking over here because that's where all my code and my typing is. I should have a little thing over here with the webcam in it. Might do that before the next stream. So yeah, there is the content, and then here are the links. So yeah, that's what's generating this list of links rather than the other list of links. So it's just looping over each of those and outputting those links here. Cool. Right, let's get back to the Tailwind stuff. So base.html.twig. Let's try adding. Let's make this not full, and let's just try doing something like red. This is my usual. I've gone from background red to a class of something like BG red, just for like debugging. Let's just check whether it works. This is working. It's watching and seems to be reloading. The sculpin side is also reloading, and this is really quick. Not that version 3 is slow, I don't think, in my experience, but yeah, have it run and recompile. Like, admittedly, there's only one class, but yeah, that's really fast to have that running. Okay, cool. And the background has changed, so I don't know if that's going to come through on stream. So let's try make it more red or darker red. So hopefully now we can all see that. Not too dissimilar from the old Transport for Wales red, fun enough. But yeah, we can see it's working. We can just delete, not that, but delete that again, and then we'll be back to having no classes, and then be back to normal. Cool. That's really interesting, because yeah, all we've done here is just say like input file, output file, and watch. So there's no config file, no JavaScript, Tailwind config.js or TS file. I haven't had to point it in my content. I haven't said, look at these twig files. In this, it's found them for me, which I think is cool. The problem I've had, I think, on my site yesterday was that my Tailwind stuff lives in an assets folder, not at the root. So I think that was maybe confusing things. It wasn't sure where to look. So yeah, I'll do back in this, but this so far seems to be going quite well. One thing I think on one of my last streams, I wasn't sure this container class, so I don't know whether that's still a thing in this alpha, but I don't think it was there last time I tried it. Let's see, but if they're aiming for backwards compatibility, then I'd assumed it would be still there. Yeah, there is container, but container seems to do anything. Maybe it's its own plugin now. That's fine. That's what I wanted last time. I haven't looked into it since last time. I was just curious. In fact, we wouldn't put it there anyway. We'd have a div, and we'd put it down here somewhere. We wouldn't make the whole body a container. That would be a little bit silly, I think. Well, not ideal. GV reselect indent a thim. Cool. Okay, so if we were to do this, let's go back and add our BG red. Let's go for a 500 this time, and just to make sure that's working, which it is. Although my little breadcrumb is outside of this container. That's interesting. I'll have to move it. Later. Yeah, why is that? Because if I thought it was inside content wrapper, which would put it here, there, but it's not. It's fine. Doesn't matter. Let's try a container again. I'm fairly sure at this point it's not there, and I should probably just read the notes. So let's Google Tailwind CSS v4. My typing is terrible today. Same blog post, I think. Container. Yeah, that's the only thing it does. It's fine. I will come back to it at another point and figure out what's going on there. But for now, let's instead of doing that, let's give it a max width. Yeah. This isn't supposed to be a particularly fancy site anyway. It's going to be fairly straightforward. Like using the content is pretty straightforward. It's not going to be a very super complex design or anything. Okay. I was expecting that to do something. Max 3XL. This is a bit scary working on alpha software or nearly beta software, and also things that I'm not necessarily familiar with, or with this version. I've been Tailwind for a long time. But this, I've assumed that was going. Oh, this has just crashed. Okay. This is something I was having yesterday as well. Actually, it's supposed to ignore anything in a git ignore file, and the git ignore file ignores things in the output directories, because that's the compiled static side files, the HTML and the CSS, like what you generate from the twig and the markdown. I wonder how long that's been crashed for. So yeah, I had this yesterday. It was sort of scanning things inside output dev, and then because those files are always deleted and generated every time, I think it was getting a bit confused. So if that's a bug, my understanding is it should ignore anything in an ignored folder, which it is. Given as that crashed before, I'm going to try container one more time and just see what's going on, just in case it crashed before and I didn't know. Yeah, that's definitely not doing anything. Okay, let's go back to there and let's do max mx order. And let's jump here. Cool. Okie dokie. Right. This is. Hopefully it's not. Yes, he's crashed again. Something with that output there. I think because it's deleting and then recreating it. ls stat. It definitely sounds like a can't find the file, and then no such file directory. Getting output dev. Like that should be ignored. We have a git ignore. Git ignore, and that has output underscore that. Let's be explicit maybe and do output dev. Let's just see if that makes any difference at all. Like I don't, so it's not a Tailwind sort of problem, but sort of is. If it could be a bug, or it could be, this is alpha again, so it could be I'm just finding things, but which is good. I think Adam said he was streaming yesterday, and I was like, oh, maybe people should try to use this more. If I find a bug, I can report that upstream. Cool. Okay. I was gonna do an Adam joke and say we're done, but let's see. Let's go back here. Keep an eye on that. Let's see whether that's going to make a difference. Let's see. Trying to keep an eye on the chat. Not that we're busy. It's pretty. That's the only problem with streaming. I think Friday afternoon, like people are working, whereas I work longer days the other days and then don't work on a Friday. So for me, it's ideal, but for everybody else, probably not ideal. But of course, it'll be on YouTube still afterwards anyway. Cool. Okay. Let's delete that. Let's start putting classes in, and let's see whether it breaks. Didn't break that time. That's good. Keep an eye on it. Cool. It's cool. This is good. I mean, I can just go through and like keep adding things. Like this is fairly sort of normal Tailwind stuff. See, yeah, it's crashed again. I don't know how to be more explicit about that. Is there something I can say? input output watch minify optimize working directory. Yeah, there's not really a way around this because it's going. It's always going to regenerate everything in output dev. I can't stop it doing that. There is a clean option, which we're not using, so that would like actually delete the files. So it's not deleting the whole directory, but it obviously still is doing something. So there's anything off the top of my head that's like, if this crashes, rerun it again. Can't think of anything right now. Anyway, yeah, start again. Let's just give it a couple goes. Okay. Try. Okay. Let's see. Maybe I'll just try and be a bit more careful when I'm pressing it. Okay, I'll do a little, just see if I can get this sort of working a bit more, and then maybe we'll try to do some more configuring, which I didn't get to do too much of the last time. I'm surprised I'm already 10 past 3. Goodness me. Cool, right, let's see what we can do here. So we've got a footer area at the bottom. It's quite interesting actually, yeah. How to send post requests with curl. So I was using things like Postman. I was trying out rest.mvim recently that does sending them in NeoVim. The new version was causing issues for me, and also the new one needs extra Lua dependencies because it's a NeoVim plugin, which I couldn't get to install, and the old one for me again has suddenly stopped working, which I was a bit surprised by. So I was like, oh, what's an alternative? And I was like, well, I could just use curl. So let's just add some padding and margin onto that. Didn't fail that time. Footer, let's maybe add. I don't tend to use bottom things for margin and padding, but I will in this case. I think that's also a Tailwind thing. I see remember Adam saying again, like typically don't. It's to do with what is affecting. If you put in margin top and left, you're moving the element you're adding, the class 2. If you're doing bottom and right, you're moving the thing below or to the right of it. You're not moving the actual thing you're putting the margin onto. So that's sort of stuck with me. The home thing I'm going to fix later. I'm not worried about that right now. Let's just add a bit of spacing around our date, which might be in the note twig file. Okay, so it's overriding. Okay, let's fix this quickly. If we move there, that's going to move it into the container, pseudo container, but now it's below the heading, which I don't want either. I knew it was going to do that. Okay, abort. Back. Let's put that back where it was. We'll look at that later on. Cool. So let's add a little bit of padding around this. So this is where the actual rendered HTML goes from the markdown file in this block. The date is above it, and then the content is below it. So for now, let's just maybe put some things on here, and we'll put a margin top and bottom and make that a 4. And it's crashed again. It seems to be crashing more of the time. I think that, yeah, I think it's just the way this, like, it's site generated, right? So it's going to be the same if it was Sculpin or Jigsaw or anything. If it's recompiling like the source files it's trying to scan, but it shouldn't be scanning it. MY4 margin bottom. Okay, that's not doing anything. It probably it's a time element, which is probably not block level. So for now, let's try putting display block on it. Probably the best way actually is going to be to put it in either a div or a header element maybe. But a div is block level, so that should probably work, and that's probably better. And then in fact we probably don't need that anymore because it's already a block level. Cool. We can ignore that for now. Let's just move down to this bit, and then this is where our second level of stuff is. Let's just do another div, and let's wrap all of this in one div, and then we'll do something in between in a second. And also aware that my spacing is not like these are all indenting with 4 spaces, and I've been doing 2. I think that's fine. Again, for this, I'm just spiking this out, and I'm just trying to get a bit more hands-on experience with Tailwind v4. I'd like to be on the bleeding edge of things. I like to be up to date with stuff. This is why I like doing personal projects and side projects and things like this, because you get to play with some of these things that maybe don't get a chance to always do in like day job or client work. So here's failing often. X rerun command on fail. Like that's the other option. We could do a watch. That'll be the other thing. We could just like rerun it every 5 seconds, but it might have the same problem. Yeah, something like retry. It's a whole script. It's fine. I don't think it's that much of a problem. Try to dig out of my brain the sense of a way of just doing it using some sort of command, but I can't think of one right now. Cool. Okay, so let's style this links stuff. Let's put this in a div as well. Actually, put this in a section because it's got a heading. Again, I'm going to clean up this afterwards. This here, and we can move this into here. So we're only going to add the section if there are links. So is this way, like, actually, is it worth doing something like having, instead of having Tailwind scan source, scan? No, it does it automatically. So I'm not telling it with the scan. So I was thinking, like, if I've set it to scan source and that's failing, I get it scan output dev, but that's, yeah, I'm not telling it with a scan. So cool. Okay, 2 sections. That's cool. So this is good. And then let's just add some classes to each of these. Text LG font bold. This is where you like the prose plugin would be good for some like the internal sort of markdown content area. For now, again, like some of this, I'll probably style this anyway. This way, but you could use prose. Cool, that's styled. Can we do now things like gap? Does this work? I don't know how to use my mouse to do this. This is you can do Alt and then HJKL to go between each of these. It's just this key. Let's see. Shift Control Alt. That's because it's locked. That's why. Like, yeah, I still struggle with the homebrew mod setup I've got on this keyboard. It's I can't quite get the timing right. Sometimes it presses when I don't want it to, or holds down longer than I want it to. But we will we'll get there. In that case, it was just there wasn't that tool. So do we need potentially to add flex to the gap? But now it's going to flex that way. Could do maybe a grid, because it's not really a flex, it's more of a grid. I still want them one above the other. Got it again. Yeah, I'm definitely make an issue about this, because maybe there's a way I can override it or something. Yeah, maybe it's just a use case. People using static set generators. That'll be a thing. Cool. Okay, that's doing good. Let's get in the right pane. Let's do a class. List disk. And then PL4 is what I usually done with this. So just override that one as well. So now we've got actual links, list items. These are links. By that I mean you can click them on the actual ahref values. Command tags aren't at the moment, so I don't need to worry about styling those as links. Whereas, yeah, see they're just normal list items. Whereas this one is has a href attribute on it. So again, style that as such. It's like it's an underline, and I assume again I can do something like no underline on hover. Yeah, although it's not changing when I hover. Hover no underline. Yeah, I didn't have this problem with the Drupal stuff, but of course it doesn't work in the same way. It's not regenerating files there. Every time that's why I didn't run into this problem before, but I was running into it yesterday on my side, I say, which is also sculpting. And I guess we can also style that same notes twig. That's the JSON file. We don't need to change stuff with the JSON file. Just twig singular. Just no. Where is it? To find that little improve. There it is. That's an easier way of doing it, isn't it? So we do the same thing on this. Underline, hover. So this one is not underlining. Why is that? Because it's already done the generating, so it should have those classes already. This one isn't underlined at all. ahref did not save. Let's see. Save. I thought I saw it regenerating on the right hand side, but maybe I didn't. ahref. Yeah, there is no link. Let's get out of that habit. Let's hide that bar, and I'm not really tempted to scroll over it. This website is open source. Oh, this is the conflict file. I want to delete it, but I don't know what that would do. It's a sort of managed with sync thing as well, just so it's synced up on some other machines. Underline, hover, underline. But yeah, if I delete that file, is it then going to go complain at me? So I'm going to leave it for now. Cool, that's working. Those are working. This one's working. Sweet. Okie dokie. I mean, that's passable. I mean, it's better than it was before. Or, you know, there's some starting from before. I would like to have a quick look at configuring it maybe a little bit. Problem now is I've lost track of the time because I don't have a little toolbar open. Okay, so let's see. So what I'd like to do is going to, if I turn off Dark Reader, it doesn't do anything because it's actually in dark mode. Okay, okie dokie. There we go. So what I'd like to do, I think, is grab a color. Text blue primary. So on this site, it's a custom color called text blue primary, which is this sort of dark bluey color. It's this hex code. Let's grab that quickly. So what I think I'd like to do is at least make that my link color on this side as well. I was thinking heading color, but then you don't want the headings to be you want to be clear the headings are headings and not links, but getting ahead of myself. It was called app CSS, wasn't it? App.css. Okay, let's go back. See, I'm glad I hit that because now I can't click it. We'll scroll. So I think we can pass a theme, add theme, if I remember rightly. Yeah, okay. Because there's no Tailwind config file, we configure it in the CSS file, which I think is pretty cool. So we've got the import, that's fine. And the cool thing about this is text. This isn't an image, so I can grab this and I can copy paste this, which is pretty cool. But for now, I'm going to type it. Apparently, I need the practice. I still haven't quite figured out this. I started using this enter programmer there, so I can hold down this key and then get symbols. I don't think I've ever, well, sort of quite memorized most of them, all the key ones that I use. I remember. Let's see. Okay, so we can do color dash something. Dash color dash primary is equal to, presumably that was a string, I can't remember. And is it still in my thing? Nope, I deleted the thing. Okay, well, what was my string? Color. Copy. Paste that there. I don't think we need that. Okay, so what does that do other than crashing? Nearly tipped a can of Coke with my keyboard. That would have been not good. So that's done. Okay. Let's go back here. Let's go back to this. We're not using that class anyway, so I would expect it to not show up because of just in time. And it only compiles what it needs. Don't bookmark it. But yeah, so we don't have any, because we've not added it anyway, of course. So we haven't had text prime anyway, so it definitely shouldn't be showing up. But I feel like that should now be there. So if we go back into note singular and add text primary, it's compiled and then failed. is getting a bit frustrating. Again, it's looking now for like the output dev dist file. Yeah, I mean, I can make an issue. I can literally use this video now as, as evidence of this. Okay, so how do I eradicate the problem? Well, here's a video. Source. Okay, let's see. Is that nothing has changed? So let's see. Text primary color. So text primary is color primary. Which is that? So maybe it doesn't like those quotes. Maybe we don't need those. I wasn't quite sure when I added them if I was going to need them. Let's see, lock that. Oh no, I use Control O to get back to my other file. Okay, there we go. Looking very much more on brand. On brand now. Cool. So yeah, nice to add a custom color, custom primary color, just in our CSS file. And I was going to say whether it auto-completes, but I don't think it auto-completes in Twig for me anyway. Yeah, I need to go back to my NSP settings, I think, and look at that again. But cool, so we've got some heading styling, we've got some link styling. You can go and add that now to the base footer link. And then straight away I'm thinking about, do we extract this out into some sort of component? Do we use add apply? I don't know that's even a thing in V4. And I sort of said at one point, like that's one thing you regretted adding, I think. Or maybe I'm taking that out of context, but sort of said not. But I still see him as sort of advocating. I think this Rails World Talk, he was advocating for using it for some things. So maybe it's still a thing. But again, I guess if they're aiming for backwards compatibility as much as possible, I'd imagine it's there. Okay. Do you want to do anything else? It's like we've got a good, or at least a better layout of this now. There's not really much responsive stuff to do with this. I can't see doing too much with it. There's no big menu or anything to do. These obviously we need some styling. I just put it into a list. Actually, let's do that quickly. Index. We can probably just reuse the same class equals list disk and then PL-4. So that should give us that style. Cool. And then let's do the old he says, underline, hover, no underline. Probably should use the same and do focus as well. We usually write a plugin, like a Hocus plugin that does hover and focus together. Presumably, I don't know actually, what is the, think out loud, what is the plugin compatibility between 3 and 4? So if I've got a custom plugin that I wrote for 3, which that's actually published to npm, presumably I could just install it through npm and it would work. But where would you define them in plugin? Presumably you could put them in that CSS file again, but where would you put sort of custom? Sometimes I put plugins in the config file, just like little small custom ones, or just spiking them out. I put there. So I want to find where to do that again. Yeah, there's not really much responsive stuff to do in this one. So we made it like a 1500. or is that how this works? Yeah, I was expecting it to change sooner than that. There we go. So yeah, a bit of padding around the body, I think it would be helpful. But hey, I'll add that in sort of later. Is dark mode be interesting? I've got dark mode on my current site, so that could be fun. If we try putting it in base. Okay, I'm assuming this works the same if I do dark BG black. It's black, I think, presumably. Turn that off. I have no idea whether this is even a thing we can do yet. Maybe that's not even there. Maybe black isn't even a color. Maybe dark mode doesn't work at all yet. Maybe it doesn't work with this dev tool. Maybe my CSS has crashed. Again, all the things. Could be any one of the things. Take your pick. Cool. Aha, this does work. Awesome. So let's toggle on and off. So setting the dark mode. So this little button is toggling this media prefers color scheme. Media query, I think is probably the right thing, but I'm not sure how you refer to this. Preferred color scheme. What the actual technical thing of that rule? Property value, not sure. Yeah, if that is set, it's then making this background color there. I think it's really interesting as well. You can see a lot more stuff like in the dev tools now than you could in previous versions, I guess, because it's more native. These obviously would change color, presumably, because of the contrast. But like the heads obviously need to change, so let's change that. So font bold, dark, text. Right. Cool. So we should be able to again just toggle that off. It's going to be black by default, so I don't really specify that. Click through to one of these again. That's a tag, so that doesn't link anywhere right now. Which one had links on again? Wasn't that one? It was two of the earlier ones, right? This one. So this one has, yeah, that has a link. That's the inline link, should we say? Which kill? So those are still the same. I wasn't even looking for those. I was looking for the headings. Tangent. Okay, so let's see if we can. Yeah, again, this isn't obviously going to work. The link color is still the same, but we need to also set the color. So I wonder if that's something I can do here. Can I change it here and will it cascade down? I guess the question. Yeah, it looks like it does. Okay, because I'm not using pros, I think, at this point, so there's nothing to, presumably nothing to override it. So it's just cascading all the way down. Cool. And yeah, I was going to say that's choosing the else, but that looks fine. Yeah, there's my tabs. That's all. Just got the default browser tab state. I guess if we did want to remove the hover, if we did want to add that, we could also do focus and underline, or you can also do focus visible. So it doesn't get because everyone's to get focused when you click them, so you don't want things changing as people are sort of clicking or hovering. So let's see, it was these ones we changed, wasn't it? Yes, there we go. It's also removing that now on focus as I'm tapping through them, which is cool. Yeah, the one I do is Tailwind CSS Hocus plugin. So Hocus being, that's another one as well now. That's interesting. Just state. This is the one I made. So yeah, this as a Hocus interactive states that will apply hover and focus at the same time. Yeah, I'll have to, I won't do it now, but I'll have to look and see how that works. Keep in mind this is still technically alpha, so there's still some ways to go. As in, it's not complete yet. I think I'm saying yesterday he's going to do a beta release next week, maybe, if I'm remembering correctly. I'm going to go back and watch that video again. Anything else in here that's worth looking at? Another couple of minutes. Import. We don't need to. We're just importing everything right now, so we don't need to read this. This is resetting all the colors. If you want to get rid of all the colors, so what? Let's or the default ones. Let's try that. Just verify that that is what it does for learning purposes. It was initial. So color primary should stay the same because I've added it below, but things like text black now I'd imagine would disappear because it's a default color. So now my thinking is that that's now going to not be available because it's not there. Oh, there we go. Let's go back. Let's see. Yeah, so now toggling it isn't doing anything because text black doesn't. There is BG black. There is no BG black now because I've got rid of it. So at least I think that's what I think is happening. So let's add black again. 000 all the things. I can remember that one. It's crashed again. Let's see. There you go. So now we're back to having that again. My white heading is gone because there's no text white again anymore. So unlock this. We'll go back here. Best one to do, I suppose, it's going to be this one. I'd make this white. Find the zeros. So what I could do is visually select them and replace them all with Fs. Finfu strong today. Okay, so it's color white. Why are these all white? Wasn't expecting that. Color primary. I broke something somewhere else. Yeah. Finfu not that strong on that occasion. Let's see. Let's go back here again. Let's try this again. Yeah, the other option would have been to have done use a watcher, like a normal watch instead of a Tailwind watch. Cool. Okay, back to that again. So text white is working again. Text black is working. Text primary is working. Oh, I've got this big space here. I don't know if that's a thing, but it's obviously a thing. I'll look into that later on. That's not really the point of this. Yeah, and then I guess here's where we want to use like pro styles because this is coming out of the markdown file. So if we find extracting custom module, so the text is written in Markdown, and this gets compiled to the HTML that we see on the page. So we jump up a couple of levels, go into output dev directory, into notes. Which one is it? 21. You should know that's the most recent one. Let's see, near that time. Yeah, here then is the generated copy. So I don't write the paragraph, I don't write the code tag. I'm writing it in Markdown, and Markdown is then rendered into HTML. So there's no paragraph tag for me to add a class to, so I can't start it directly. But this is where some like the prose classes with the typography plugin with prose classes comes in, or I guess then you'd start adding. Let's lock this again. Let's go back to the note twig file. We'd have something like, I'm just going to copy paste this, and then you'd have like a markdown class. This is a old school OG class. Is before we had a prose plugin, app.css. So in here we'd have, this is interesting, how do, like, because layers are a thing. Layers. So add layer. How do I add custom stuff? Import. I don't want to import something. Layer base. I'm okay. If it doesn't say, so I'm going to assume, based on my previous knowledge, that I can do something like layer components. And there we are, making this up now. Markdown P, and this will be like margin top 1 rem. Again, I'm sure there's probably the theme. This is where again you might look to use a theme helper. Let's see whether this does anything. Again, it might not. It might even be a thing. I'm just trying stuff based on my experience of using Tailwind so far. See what's there and what's not. The main issue has been this watcher. Container class is something I'm going to go back and check. But the main issue is this watcher. That's. But I think again, I don't know if that's not necessarily it's a Tailwind thing. It's more because it's working on files that are constantly being updated and generated. So I don't think it'd be a thing in most situations. It wasn't when I was doing the Drupal stuff. Sorry, really here. Cool. So this is working. So it's obviously added it to the right place, the right thing. So I've just given it a background color as well. We could probably do something like everything that's a direct child of Markdown, so that's going to affect everything. Again, this is crashed. What I should have done is looked in the issue queue like an hour ago and gone, somebody else has had the same problem, and if there was a workaround, I'd have not have to press restarted this. How many times if there was a workaround? There we go. Remember for next time. Yeah, so that's how we used to do it before we had the typography plugin. Set it on the put some sort of wrapper, which is essentially what the prose class is. The typography plugin. But in this case, I'll just call it Markdown because it's Markdown text. So same idea. If it's like a body field, like a long HTML text field in Drupal, where people are entering text into a WYSIWYG, and it just generates normal HTML that you typically don't want to add utility classes to inside, and you'd wrap that whole field output in a class like prose or content or markdown. Markdown probably would make sense in that context, but some sort of wrapper class you can then style everything inside of. So yeah, there's our markdown direct child. Any direct child gets margin top again. So yeah, so that affects everything there inside this, not just paragraphs. Cool. That's quite interesting. Yeah, I think we're good. I think we can probably wrap this up. I think now my headphones are going off and making a noise. Someone is trying to call me. Lovely. Not that I'm doing anything with them. I've not got anything playing or listening to anything. I just got them in still from earlier. Cool. Yeah, a couple of things to follow up on. I think I'll probably just tidy up maybe this home link, and I might push this up to project later on. I've got loads of other notes I need to copy across on my other note taking. I've got loads of ideas into an ideas file. That's just there. So this is sort of separate from the daily email list. Daily emails are ones that people can sign up for and get emailed every day. So these are a bit more sort of software development focused, and whereas this, yeah, more not tutorial, but the right word is just maybe sort of tips and thoughts. These are just like random notes about things like merging things in Strava, not to do with software dev at all, and just more sort of a note for myself, really. Just like, here's how I've done a thing, and it's there. It's not really people constantly go through. Yeah, Interfix is a tool which I'd recommend. So I'm gonna keep adding more stuff to this. I've got a load more stuff to go in. So if people want to go and take a look, they want to do so. It's all open source. So to any of these, you can click this link, and it'll take you through to GitHub and take you through to the edit page. Not in responsive mode, presumably, and you can submit changes and pull requests to it. So every page is open, has that link at the bottom. So I'll show you how that works from a sculpting perspective. If I can type it out properly, let's make it a full. Let's unlock it. Let's make it a full one. So you can do this thing. We make this link up dynamically. Website's open source, new classes, and then the GitHub URL comes from Sculpin site file. So that's just a link to this repository rather than hard coding it. There we go. Then it's got edit, and then main being the branch name, source is the directory name, and then we're using page.relative path name. So that's making up that link dynamically. And I think that was one of the key things I was trying to highlight in my talk that I did at Berkshire, which is on here now under presentations. Don't know why Firefox keeps doing that to me every so often. But yeah, something I was trying to sort of talk about, like having static sites doesn't just mean like the content themselves needs to be static in a way. The files are obviously static, like that it's generating index HTML files and assets, and there's no sort of PHP process running. But the actual content can be pretty dynamic in places. I'm not going through this whole thing, but some of these examples around leveraging things like loops in Twig to make templating easier, I think helps, like we just saw with that URL. But things like this, where we can do daily emails pipe length, which will update the count of the number of emails that I've sent on the page. So I don't need to go in and update that every time I send an email. It does it for me based on the data. So I gave the talk, it was 599, and then we're now on 606, and it should be 608 7 or 8. I think I've got to do today's, and I think maybe yesterday's as well. So this number gets updated automatically. The number of presentations, i.e. talks and workshops, again is here. That's done automatically as well. So yeah, you can actually build like fairly complicated, complex things, even if it's just in Twig with loops and conditionals, or you can extend sculpting, building a PHP project. You can write your own Twig extensions, which is what the talk presentation count is. I've moved it all into a custom extension just because there's some logic around is a talk I've given or a presentation today or yesterday, do we count it or not? I've a bit more logic that I wanted to test, so I put it there as well. But yeah, I won't give the whole talk now. I was going to. I did quite a long demo for PHP Southwest version of the talk, which is actually linked to here. Just back on Valentine's Day in February, when I was the only speaker, so I had a long time. So we did the presentation and then did a bit of a longer demo, which actually is on PHP Southwest demo, Sculpin demo. I think this is the repo, but it is available somewhere online. I will find it. Yeah, I do a little bit of that in the talk for Berkshire as well, but I might record that and build that and release that as either on stream or on a video as well. So I think it's quite interesting. PHP Southwest Sculpin. I've got one guess at this, and if it's not right, I'm wrapping up. Yay, there we go. Yeah, so this is a Sculpin site. Some of the speakers we've had at PHP Southwest, including me, and various others for the last couple of months. Like not everybody, because there'll be a lot of them. But this has a let's look at the finish folder. Has a assets, I'm in the wrong place. App config. So this one has a list of talks that people have given. So each one's got a title and a speaker name and a date. This one then has a speaker content type, so speaker -name, and then inside our source folder we've got a speakers folder, and then each speaker is its own markdown file. So you can look at something like Rob's talks, for example. Yeah, it's got a name and then an image and then a bit of a little bio. Let's see, and then it could be mine. Again, it's like got the name and the image URL, but on it, it's able to match that speaker name with the name here. So able to build quite interesting page. So you can click through pages and see like Rob's talks. So yeah, it's quite interesting how it's done. It's done like filtering and mapping based on like does the speaker name match the page name, for example. There's things like ordering and sorting this, which is again quite interesting. Yeah, you can get some quite complex stuff in here the way this is done. So this is using a partial for recent speakers. Let's find that. Speakers, recent speakers. Yeah, this is where we can get into some quite fun stuff, where we've got things like I want to order them based on the date of the last talk they gave. So this is probably where I want to do something like a custom Twig extension. But yeah, we could just do it in Twig and say like, we make an empty array for speakers and dates, find the talks, which we get from the Sculpin site file, filter them so we only find ones where the talk speaker matches the speaker name, as we just saw. Then we get the first one, because they're all in the right order, but we should probably sort them as well. And then merge the date with the speaker, and then do some using the cool spaceship operator to let's sort them. And then yeah, so you can do some quite interesting stuff. Like it doesn't need to be just like basic static pages that you can build. So quite interesting. fairly complex stuff while still get some of the benefits of a static site generator. So it's cool. I might go through building this on stream or on a video and release it, 'cause I think it would be quite interesting. Something else I want to try is there was a thing called a jigsaw challenge, which was Susanna's thing for jigsaw Laravel site generator, building something in, I think it was 5 minutes or 10 minutes from scratch. So I keep thinking I should go and do a Sculpin version and see if I can do something similar. That could be quite fun. So got a list of things that I want to do. So if you're interested in any of that, sign up for the email list. Sign up on, subscribe on the YouTube channel. All the social things, all the Zettelkasten posts get pushed out to social media as well. There's I think I brought it up earlier accidentally, but there is a JSON file as well, which is, go through each note and then make a JSON representation of it. So I can go to, do I even have it open anymore? Let's see, set notes. So I can go to a notes.json file and get, I don't want to call it an API, but just a JSON array, and then this can go into Zapier, and just every time I get a new one, post it on social media. So you can follow me on those as well and get Zettelcast and update notes and some other things. Cool. Yeah, I think that's it for today. I think this was fun. I'll try and do these again. I think kids back in school and everything. I think Friday afternoons are hopefully okay for streaming a bit more regularly again. Hopefully the audio has been okay this time. I managed to get OBS to connect this time, which was good. But the last time I did it didn't work, and I had to change the thing and record it, and it would the audio wasn't brilliant last time, which is also why I was keen to do some more Tailwind V4 stuff. So hopefully that's all come through okay. Fingers crossed. Fun later on. And yeah, the other thing is, Beyond Blocks podcast with almost 1,000 total downloads, which is really cool. Episode 20 went live today. Went live this morning with George. So yeah, I've got a few guests already episodes recorded and lined up, and a few more to go. I want to do a bit of a podcast tour myself and other people's podcasts as well in the coming weeks. So yeah, interesting stuff. So if that's interesting, follow me, let me know. Daily emails go out and reply to any of those, and let me know if you've got feedback or ideas, or any socials as well. So cool. Thanks everyone for watching after the fact, and maybe I'll try and do one of these sort of evening time if I can, so I get a bit more sort of live interaction instead of me just sort of recording essentially and speaking to a screen. So fair time for streaming. We'll see. Still, it's good fun. Any questions, let me know, or comment, and see you again soon.